Welcome back, Warrior Family.
Yay!
We have our second go around of our Mundane Anxiety series today.
Yes.
We are chatting all about TV and movies. It's like media anxiety.
Yes.
Like thinking about the overthinking that comes with what to watch.
Yes. I feel like we need like a song for like a jingle, like Mundane Anxieties.
All right.
It just like, I feel like
it's like a commercial quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Warriors, anyone musically inclined out there? As you can tell, we're not. We sing a lot of our little transitions, but we could use some help in that department. So feel free to send us a little your thoughts on a good, mundane anxiety jingle. That's a good. There you go. It's jingle. It's a commercial like.
Yeah.
All right. So Abby, what comes up for you when you think about streaming services?
Oh God.
Just the overwhelming amounts of stuff to choose from. That's
like
the first thing.
Yeah. So much comes up. Yeah. Like it is just like sometimes eating and making choices, right? Yeah. Like, am I going to choose to put my time in front of a TV? Right? Mm-hmm. Like, am I going to make that choice? And then the pressure is, am I going to commit to a movie? Am I going to commit to a TV show? Mm-hmm. Am I going to commit to something I've seen before, so I know I like it? Am I going to be brave enough to watch something new where I might not like it?
Yeah.
Am I going to start a series that I know has 10 seasons, but it has a good ending at the end, so it's worth it? Or am I going to start a series where we don't know where the ending is, and it could be a huge disappointment like the TV show Lost? Yes,
well, hold on a second. No, I'm glad you said that because I also hated the ending of Lost.
Yeah.
But like, how do you know if the ending's good if you didn't watch the 10 season series?
Wait, you mean if the series is complete?
Yeah, you said like if you know the ending's good,
word
so
of mouth
it's worth
people.
it. Just word of mouth. So,
yeah.
So then it's about putting the trust in those people's opinion of an ending.
Yes. Yes. That's true too. There is that, but that I don't overthink as much. I can go to Rotten Tomatoes, right? I can do IMDb. There's ways to like
get a general,
right?
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, do I want to invest my life in this 10 season series, right? Or I don't even know, 5 season, even that feels a lot, right?
Yeah.
And is it is it an hour episode or is it a 25-minute episode? Again, big investment.
Game changer.
Yeah. And then, when am I allowed to watch it? Right? Because growing up, you had to do stuff to get the reward of TV. And so I still have that deeply programmed in me. Have I done enough today to deserve to watch TV?
Kudos for saying programmed.
No pun intended.
Yes.
Or like, are there other things that are better for me to do? Should I read? Should I go for a walk? Should I make dinner? Like, and
all the self-judgment,
all of the things. So that is, I'm sure more comes up when it comes to like watching TV, but those are, and then like, how long do I give myself to decide? Right? Like, do I know I want to watch something on Hulu or Netflix or HBO Max or Apple TV or Amazon Prime or
Showtime.
Disney Plus or Showtime?
So many choices.
Do I know the thing I want to watch, or am I going to start surfing through all of them? Yeah. So that is where I am in the just ridiculous overthinking about watching stuff.
Totally.
What about
you? Everything you said, of course, everything you said, every single thing. I would also add that if you're choosing to watch something alone versus with another person or group of people, right?
Yes.
Like, you and I both live with husbands. And so there's that. If you have a family out there, then you have children to consider. You have to wait for them to go to bed, maybe to watch certain things or anything for that matter. You're maybe watching the same terrible kid show 1,000 times because that's what your kid wants. Like, so I think there's just a consideration of other parties involved.
Right.
Can definitely contribute.
Yeah. Right. I mean, sometimes I have to say to Dan, like, hey, I really want to watch this, but I feel like you're not so into it. So should I plan to watch it when you're not here? Versus the things that we're super both into, where like we have to wait for each other, right? And it's like, don't watch it without me, right? And then it's like, then there's like the anticipation and the excitement of watching, and it's like, come home from work so we can watch it.
It always makes me so frustrated when like we had a plan to watch something, and then Adam would be like, oh, this last minute show came up that I need to go to, or Drew moved our gaming nights. And so it's like, but we had a plan to do that thing. And it's
I wanted to watch it.
A small part of me wants to be like, I'm going to watch it without you, but then I can't, because I would never do that.
Yeah.
I know. Right, and I wouldn't want him to do that to me.
Right. Right.
So it's all that consideration of your partner or other people and their needs too. Yeah, totally. Like we have some shows that we love together, and then there are the shows that we watch separately that are more my jam or his jam. And then there's like the compromise shows where it's like, or movies too. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you this movie because I know you really want to watch it and you'd like me to watch it. Right. Or I'd like you to watch it. And then I get something next. So it's like the negotiation and the communication surrounding it that sometimes helps with the overthinking, and other times feels stressful to me too. Yeah. Yeah. Because then it's like, and I love how you said, and really resonated, everything you said resonated, but it was like deciding how long you're going to scroll versus how much time you have to watch something. Yes. Let's face it, as working adults, we only have so many hours to potentially dedicate to, watching something together or separately or whatever. And so it's like, you want to maximize that time with something good, something that's objectively good. Let's say, like, as you said, going on Rotten Tomatoes, talking to trusted people that you think your taste aligns, and they're going to give you good advice about what to watch. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I know who it's like, I'll say one of my best friends, Mark, it's like, okay, Mark thought that was really good. So then Adam and I know it must be good. Yeah. Like 9 times out of 10, we're on the same page. There's only been like a couple of times where he was like, I love that thing. And then we watch it and we're like, Mark, what the hell? Like, it was terrible. But like, it's like, you're going to dedicate chunks of your life to watching something, even if you're connecting with your partner in that time. If you both hated it, it's like, well, there's that time and it's gone. I know. We've had some friends that have recommended some stuff, and we've tried their recommendations, and they were horrible. Okay. Now I need an example. Give me name the show, name the movie.
Well, okay. One of them was the movie Get Duked.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I don't know that one. Who's in that?
No, you wouldn't know any of them. It's
like a B movie. Like what?
Oh God, I don't even know. I think it was on Netflix, and it was confusing. It was weird. It ended weird. Everything about it was weird. Now, at the same time, we did suggest not a typical like good suggestion to them. So we were like, okay, maybe this is like a one-off, because at the time, Dan and I were super into this is like not what we were really into a South Korean show.
Oh, okay. We watch shows that foreign shows that Netflix shows all the time.
Yeah, but this one is like, I mean, this is good. I love it. I would recommend it. It was like Crash Landing Into You or On You.
Okay.
And it's like a love story between someone in North Korea and someone in South Korea. And it's actually, I mean, I think it's fabulous, but it is a little corny at points, and it is a little romancy. And so I think that the people we recommended it to had tried it, and they were questioning our taste. So,
there you go. Yeah. Fair enough. Right. You're not always going to get good recommendations from people. So it's like, making the decision is hard because you're committing to time. And so like, I know for me, I wind up saying to Adam, like, in 20 minutes, if we don't have a decision made, we're going to just watch X or Y.
Yeah.
Right. Like have the backup plan ready. It's like, what are the ones like the comfortable go-tos that we're ready to just like go to? Yeah. Just to, have a laugh or enjoy a certain type of energy. That's the other thing too. It's like, I know that some nights of the week, some days are tougher than others, and I need something light, or I'm in the mood for a drama, or I'm in the mood for reality crap, or like whatever. And so it's like trying to follow your instincts and your mood in the moment. Yeah. It's sometimes an anxiety queller, I think, having taking that into consideration.
Yeah.
Other times I know objectively we should be watching one thing, but my brain or my heart's like, but I'm not in the mood right now.
Yeah.
And that's challenging too.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Annoying.
It's supposed to be enjoyable.
Right.
And then there's all of this overthinking that prevents us from enjoying even stuff like, if anytime someone asks me, would you want to watch a movie or TV show? I instantly say TV show.
Is it because you assume it's faster?
Yes.
Because that's me too.
Yeah.
And it's less of a commitment.
Yes.
You could just watch one episode and see how you feel about it.
Yes.
Because you choose to keep watching or not.
So how often would you just stop a TV show in the middle of the TV show? Like it's your first time watching it. The show isn't that great, but it's like a 25-minute show or a 40-minute show.
If it's under an hour, if it's like well under an hour, like 40 minutes, you're teetering there. But like anything under 30 minutes, I'll watch the whole thing.
Just to make sure.
Yes. Yeah. It's like if I'm reading a book, I'm going to read at least a quarter of the book before I make a judgment call.
Right.
Right.
I have a really hard time just stopping something in the middle, right? When it's like, all right, I'm not really into that, because part of me is like, but what if it gets better? Right. But so it's so much easier with a TV show to do that.
Totally.
Because also like, forgive me. I know you will. I love Schitt's Creek, but it took me 3 episodes to really get into it. Sure. And the first 2, I was like, but it was that third chance, that third episode where I was like, oh, okay, I'm into this. Yeah. Right. But I can't do that with movies. I can't sit for 2 hours of a movie and then it like suck at the end and me be pissed I wasted my time.
So you turn the movie off after a few minutes?
No.
Oh, so
there's only one movie that I could turn off, because what if it gets better? I don't.
Interesting. Yeah. We've turned off several movies. We usually give it 40 minutes or so, depending on how long the movie is. Like if a movie is 90 minutes, we're not going to give it 40. We're going to give it like 20, 25.
Yeah.
Right. If we're both really hating it, not into it, time to go. We won't waste the rest of the time.
Right.
But if the movie's 2.5 hours, right, maybe we give it a little bit longer to see if it just needed time to warm up.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
There's just so many things. There's so many thoughts that go into it. Many thoughts that go into it. It can be extremely overwhelming, like all of the other mundane anxieties in our life that should be fun, as you beautifully said a moment ago. It should be fun. It's like, we're going to watch this thing. We're relaxing. It should feel relaxing. That's my other thing too. Sometimes I'm like, this is stressful. Like Adam loved the show.
Let's get into stressfulness of watching shit. Yes.
He loved this show called Blown Up.
Yeah.
It's about glass blowing.
Okay.
So there's 2 seasons out now. We watched the first season. I had a very hard time getting through the season but it was a short show. Like there was 8 or 10 episodes and they were only like 25 minutes an episode. And so and there were things about it that I found really interesting, right? It's a competition show. These people are blowing glass. They have a challenge and then a winner is selected. And so the problem though is that glass breaks. I have a problem. Oh my God, Abby.
Yeah.
It was like I was watching a horror movie.
Yeah.
I was would have done better with blood and gore and guts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I couldn't deal with the potential of breaking glass. The sound of it, the look of it, the crestfallen eyes, right? The sadness, the heartbreak.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was so, I'm like, in 25 minutes, my whole body feels like this. I feel right now I'm making this like stiff, like corpse body position. Everybody who's listening to this audio media and can't see my body. I'm just like this like dead person. I felt so uncomfortable. It was too much discomfort. And he understood. We made it through the season. I was like, I can't watch this ever again. And so he watched season 2 without me because I couldn't do it. It's like, but then you wind up watching things that appease your partner or whatever, because you love them. Right. You want them to enjoy something. And you know that maybe they're not going to have the time to watch it without you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that factors in.
Right. No, I love this because I have some I sometimes get so involved in the movie where I feel, or TV show where I feel like I'm in it. And then I put myself in the characters and I feel a lot of stress, which sounds like what you're doing with the reality show. But like,
yes,
I always use the example of like Meet the Fockers or Meet the Parents, right? That with Ben Stiller, like so many years ago, but he kept messing up and it caused me so much stress. I did not enjoy it at all. It was like a roller coaster ride that just kept going down more and more and more. And my stomach was like, please stop, please stop. And it just got worse. And I don't like that shit. I don't like that. Or even like, I used to love The Walking Dead. And then
we did too.
It just got too much with the same shit over and over and over and over again.
Repetitive.
But like, it just, when you take away really important characters or when you like do the repetitive thing or like when you just have such horribly, horribly mean, evil people, it causes me so much stress. And I can do like little bits. Like I watch Squid Game and there's a ton of horrible things, but there's respite in the horribleness.
Yep.
Right. And so, I mean, that was really horrible. That was a poor example, but like,
or there's highs and lows in a single episode, right?
Yeah.
So like you're taken on a roller coaster. You're not just falling into a pit, never coming out of it. Right. That's the problem. I'm so with you on that. It's like that the Meet the Fockers. Meet the Parents did give me that exact same feeling too, but I found it funny and enjoyable. But where I related really hard, I had the exact same feeling about The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
So the movie is, I'm not going to ruin it all. The movie, it's based on the story of a real man.
Yeah.
Do you not want me to tell you about it now?
No, I mean, you're not going to ruin it for me because I don't care. I mean,
okay. Okay. I thought you meant like, I didn't say don't ruin it for me. Okay. No. So it's a story of a real man whose name is, of course, escaping me right now. But the greater story is that like he has a family, he has a son and a wife in the beginning of the movie, and literally everything goes wrong in this man's life. Yeah. And he winds up becoming homeless with his child, and his wife leaves, and he is genius. He's a genius man. And he winds up inevitably, right, getting a job, like working at the stock exchange. Like he has an incredible story. Like the man has had documentaries written, made about him. He has books that he wrote, I believe, and certainly that have written about his life. But the movie is like a pit of despair. It starts out in like a medium amount of discomfort, and then it takes you down this nosedive of never-ending despair, only to bring you back up at the very end. And the ending is so pure and beautiful and you love it, but it takes you way too long to get there. Yeah. And so that's not what you wind up, for me, that's not what I was left with. I was left with everything that led up to that little bit of joy at the end. Yeah. And it was such a long movie too, that the commitment, I don't regret watching it, but I will never watch it again. Yeah. And I wouldn't suggest it to people either. Right. Because like, even though it's great and it's a brilliant story and it's a true story, right. And it was told beautifully. Will Smith acting was incredible. His son, Jaden Smith, when he was a child, played his son in the movie, and it was fantastic, like objectively, but I can't watch it again because it took me down to like the lowest pits of my soul. Like I really felt terrible through this whole movie. Right. So yeah, I just think that when we choose to watch things, there's the anxiety around choosing what to watch, the anxiety around there being so many options, how to live and use your precious life, what to watch during your precious life. And then also, once you've made the decision, do you commit to it? Yeah. Do you keep watching? Right. It's like, it's all mundane and it's like silly and not important. Yeah. But at the same time, we're still talking about like time that we're taking out of our lives. Yeah. We're trying to fill with joy. Right. Right. And as someone who has a lot of anxiety, I don't need to be also feeling anxiety while watching TV. Like, like I'm sure some people think The Bachelor is really light and great, but like that would give me nothing but anxiety and rage to watch. Right. That. Like I literally do not understand The Bachelor, why it exists. Like I've watched plenty, my fair share of crappy reality trash TV. Yeah. Like I'm not telling you shouldn't watch it, but like the idea, even just the idea of watching it gives me anxiety. Yeah. Yeah. I don't get that one. Doesn't do it for me. No, it's
I mean, I can relate to you. I don't get it either. It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. Interesting that we both hated the ending of Lost. We're not in the business of spoilers here, so we're not going to share why, but I'm glad that we share the same disdain for it. Adam loved it. We both loved the show.
Oh, okay.
But he loved the ending too, or he liked it a lot. I think a lot of people, it was like the ending of Seinfeld or The Sopranos, right? Like so many people have very visceral black or white feelings about it. There's not a lot of gray area going on with those fans.
My feeling about Lost is two-part. One is they promised that they would tie up loose ends. The writers did, and they did not do that. Yeah, they did not. I'm still, what was this, 2008? Like, I'm still mad about this, right?
Yep.
And the other thing is they said they wouldn't do exactly what they did for the last episode. They said that that's not what they were going to do. And for me, if you just said, hey, this is what we're going to do, I still would have gone on the ride and I would have appreciated the ending. Don't fucking gaslight me on your ending. Like, don't you tell me it's something else when it is what it is. Like,
yeah,
I would have been less pissed if they didn't lie to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
We watched all of the stuff leading up to it too. I watched those interviews with JJ Abrams. I read them. And he made a lot of empty promises.
Yes.
Just say that for sure. Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh my. So Warriors.
Don't watch Lost.
Listen, I mean, that's our opinion, right? You're gonna figure that out on your own. We're not trying to cause you anxiety. If you're loving Lost, don't think like, oh my gosh, like I shouldn't be enjoying this. Listen, we all have our own opinion. But this is just again, that like everyday little annoying anxieties that show up for us.
Yeah.
And that maybe you can relate to in some small form, or maybe you relate to nearly everything we've shared. And if so, DM us on Instagram. We want to hear from you. You're like soul sister or brother over there. So think about for yourself, what are the ways in which taking the time to choose what you're going to watch affects you or doesn't? If these things you even think about, maybe they aren't. And if so, like, good for you. Again, I'm always impressed with people that don't have these many anxieties like this.
Yeah. So overthinking about everything.
Including what we do in our downtime, like watching TV or movies and all of the
fear
overwhelming
of
amount of
choice. Yeah. The overwhelming amount of choices and the fear of making the wrong one.
Yes. And wasting our time and energy and precious life.
Yep.
It sounds dark, but at the end of the day, right? Like these are the things that come up for us sometimes.
Yeah.
We wind up thinking about this kind of stuff.
We're told you only got one life to live, so make the best of it. So like the pressure to watch the best show, like, I mean, it's silly, but it's like, it's that's what comes up. It's just, yeah.
Totally agreed.
Yeah.
So if you are out there listening, take some time to think about how TV anxiety or movie anxiety shows up or doesn't. And what are some of the practices that you can employ, right? That you can try surrounding dealing or coping with the anxiety. I know for me, setting up boundaries for myself as far as like time helps. Like I mentioned before, we're going to take 20 minutes to figure out what we're going to watch. If we can't figure it out in that time, here's our backup plan. Right. So like having a plan in place for yourself, or if you're watching with loved ones or in community with others, what are some of your like helpful?
I mean, that's definitely one is we have a list of shows that we're happy to watch at any point. But if we're super into something, we like go through that pretty quickly. And if we have like nothing else, like we'll go to what our list is. But if we're like curious, then we'll scroll through and we do the same thing. We set an amount of time. It changes every time. It like depends how much time we have to watch. Right.
Sure.
And then, and then from there, if we're not able to like both agree that we both want to see something, then we go to one of the backup shows.
Yeah. And I would say too, like, be willing to let it go. Be willing to let go of shows or movies that you're not enjoying or that aren't sitting with you, right? If they're not, if you feel like it's a waste of time, let it go. There's nothing there's no real force out there saying you must finish that series because you started it.
Right.
Like we gave up Walking Dead in like season 5 or whatever, because it became like a soap opera and it was terrible. And the commercial breaks were painful. And they had all these extended episodes that didn't go anywhere. Like this isn't a Walking Dead shit on Walking Dead show. So I'm going to pause it there. But yeah, I mean, so creating those boundaries that work for you and the people that you're watching stuff with, being willing to let go of stuff. You don't have to follow something through that, or follow through with something that isn't serving you or isn't making you feel good. To being willing to say no and let it go. Let it go.
Let it go. And, you know, as you were just not shitting on Walking Dead, it also made me think, I don't do this ever, but I could practice gratitude for not having those annoying commercials. Most of the stuff we do is stream it on streaming sites and don't have commercials. And like,
amen.
What a relief, because commercials are a whole other type of like anxiety. They're like shouting at me. They're making me feel bad about my life. And I haven't had commercials in a while. So I'm feeling pretty grateful right now.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I hate commercials. I mean, I don't think anyone enjoys commercials, but there's like people that hate them, people that are indifferent, and I'm in the hate camp.
Yeah, me too.
Because as you said, they're louder and they do that on purpose, right? That's like a conscious choice that the networks are doing. And so here's something else really quickly, that like, even when you're paying for Hulu or Apple TV, it's like some of them still make you watch commercials.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit. Yeah. That's absolute horseshit. Like that should not be allowed. If you're paying for a service, there should be no commercials. I'm just angry. Yeah. Agreed. But I love the gratitude piece, right? And having the privilege to have time and space to watch things, right? And having the privilege of being able to pay for streaming services, right? And so that is something that I'm glad you brought up, because while it might give us some anxiety sometimes, there's also a lot that we can find the joy in. And I know that watching movies alone and TV alone, or with my husband or with my friends, and my friends and I used to have movie nights where once a month a different friend would host, and we would have a theme, and everyone got to bring DVDs. Remember those, everyone? With them. And we would, you know, have little games to decide which movies we watch. And we would get through 2 or 3 in an afternoon together, and we'd have dinner, and it was a whole thing, right? So like you can have fun and community. Going out to movies, deciding what to see together in person is something we really didn't get into, but like there's a lot of joy that can be had surrounding this stuff. All the stuff that gives us anxiety, typically, or maybe not typically, but plenty of it is also a source of a lot of love and joy.
Totally. Like once like Dan and I make the decision, then unless it's get duked or lost.
There's so many examples. We don't have time.
Yeah, no, I'm totally kidding. But once we make the decision, once the overthinking is done, there's so much joy and fun.
So
and
much
stuff. Yeah.
So many laughs to be had, and or good tears to cry. You know, I mean, there's so much emotion and joy that comes from me watching art, right? And that's what movies and TV are. They're art. And you're getting to view incredible, talented, professional actors and actresses and cinematographers, and just all the effort that goes into creating these things too. Yeah. And that's something which, again, going back to the gratitude piece, which I would love to end on, it's kind of like being grateful for all of the people that create the art that we're able to enjoy too.
Thank you, Lin-Manuel.
He is responsible for so much of the
good stuff. Yeah.
Over the last decade. Yeah, he really is. Oh my gosh. All right, warriors. So we hope that you enjoyed this second round of a mini episode of this Mundane Anxiety series. And as we said, if you got any little jingle for us, send it our way. Shoot us an audio file via email. You can find us at Anxiety Warriors Podcast on Instagram. You can shoot us an email over at anxietywarriorspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you're interested in being a guest on our show. If you have topic ideas for us, you have other mundane anxieties for us to chat about, silly little things in your daily life that bring you some anxiety that you think might be relatable for the warriors to hear. And if you have 2 seconds, which I know you do, smash that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Drop us a review over there if that's where you listen, or if you're on Spotify or someplace else, if there's an opportunity for you to tap that 5 stars or leave us a review, please do. We want to keep growing our fam. We need your help.
Yeah.
So we have a collective, Margot and Abby, Mabby, win of the week.
Win of the week.
Abigo, I think, was our other mashup name, which was terrible. So I think we're going to go with Mabby.
Mabby.
Sounds more flowy, I think. All right. Our win was that we are climbing in our reviews.
So many touching reviews. We love them.
We love them. I think we're at 29 or 30 on Apple Podcasts. And we've had several folks tell us that they've smashed the 5 stars on Spotify. Spotify doesn't tell you how many 5 stars you get. So please, if you have not, take 2 seconds, take 1 minute of your, we know, precious time, but we'd love it if you dedicated a minute of your precious time to dropping us a review or at least a rating on one of these platforms, because it is our win this week, our collective Mabby win of the week. Our growing reviews. So thank you, warriors, who've left us a review. It means so much to us. We really can't fully express how much we love them and how much we love you for listening and showing up each week.
Yes. Thank you all so much for going on this journey with us. We're so grateful you all are here.
Till next time.